multiple exams are being conducted by NTA. And again, here, if you, for someone who's a graduate student, anyone who's preparing for IPM, the IIM Bodh Gaya and IIM Jammu paper, the joint IP-MAT, is also conducted by NTA, right? So NTA is specifically an agency for this. So NTA will be conducting the CUET, the Central Universities Entrance Test, for admission to all central universities. Again, going forward, it is very likely that other colleges also might eventually start accepting this score to make their admissions easier, right? And the good part about CUET is that it essentially makes your class 12 subjects as the base, and then there are some specific requirements which are course specific that you're applying, right? So again, as I said, there is uniformity irrespective of the subject that you've done. You can take those subjects, write the exam, and then get into a college or stream that you want. What is the format of this paper? Well, there are three sections. The first is the language section. Again, it has two lists of languages, having 13 and 19 languages. The 13 languages are languages which are the medium of examination, so English, Hindi, etc., etc. The other 19 languages are languages which you might need as a specific course requirement. If you're going for a BA honors program in a specific language, you would have to clear this exam as well. So 13 plus 19 languages in section 1. The format of this paper for each language will be, there will be 50 questions, multiple choice, out of which you have to attempt any 40, and you'll have a time of 45 minutes per language. Then in section 2, these are the domain specific subjects. There's a list of 27 subjects. Depending on the college and course requirement, you can choose the subjects. 40 questions to be attempted out of 50. Again, the time limit is 45 minutes per subject. The third section is the aptitude section, which has 75 questions, out of which 60 are to be attempted in a time limit of 60 minutes. Now, how this will happen this year, how it will be conducted this year is, it will happen in two slots, slot 1 and slot 2. So when you will fill the form, the slot 1 is a 3-hour 45-minute window, slot 2 is again a similar sort of a window. So you might have to, depending on how many subjects you've taken, you might have to go and give exams in both the slots for different subjects, obviously. Or if the number of subjects that you've taken is small, it might happen in one slot itself, right? How many subjects can you choose? So according to CUET or NTA, you can choose up to 9 papers, up to 9. Okay. You don't have to sit down for 9 papers. You don't have to appear for 9 papers, but you can choose up to a maximum of 9 papers, depending again on the requirement of the college and course. A selection from that can be chosen to apply for the college. What will be the breakup of these 9 papers? You can look at it 2 plus 6 plus 1, 2 languages from section 1, 6 subjects from section 2, 1 general aptitude, or it could be a 3 plus 5 plus 1. This is the maximum number of subjects that you can attempt. Not mandatorily you have to attempt these number of subjects. So you could take 3 languages, 5 domain specific subjects, and the general aptitude test, right? 2 plus 6 plus 1 or 3 plus 5 plus 1. Again, important thing here is you can only choose subjects that you have passed in class 12th. This does not mean that you cannot, apply for a program that you're not studying in 12th, but whatever subjects you choose have to be the ones that you've passed in 12th. So I could be a PCM student and I decide to write the exam in physics and use that score to apply for a BCom program. That can happen. What I cannot do is, I'm a PCM student, I cannot write, and I have not studied accountancy 11th and 12th, I have not cleared that exam, I cannot write an accountancy paper and use that score, right? So you can only choose the subjects for this exam in which you have passed in class 12. The domain subjects, as I said, include the subjects like economics, accounts, maths, pol science, etc. The common subjects. We'll talk about them very briefly, very quickly. Again, because there are different boards, the syllabus will be used for the exams will be such that it is inclusive for most of the boards, right? And therefore, probably a common minimum will be chosen from where the paper will be will appear. More specifically, this is a computer-based test. You'll go to the center where you will have a test, which will be a computer-based test. And therefore, what happens, it is completely objective. The breakup of kind of questions is there. There will be standalone questions. There will be inference-based questions. There will be case study-based questions as well. So 2 case studies having 5 questions each. Some questions which are inference-based, inference and reasoning based, some questions which are standalone knowledge based questions. Multiple choice questions, so you mark the correct answer. Therefore, negative marking will also be there. Choice of subjects, again, the subjects that you have to choose depends on the university and the course that you're applying for. This year, the exam is scheduled in July. Okay. Now, again, someone who's giving the boards this year, or you're already in that cycle, so your boards end somewhere around June, and therefore you have about a month before CUCET happens. It is very likely that next year also similar sort of a cycle will be used. So once your boards are over, you will have about a month to, you should have about a month to be ready for the CUET kind of an examination. That by no means, this is not to say that you start preparation then. The preparation will happen throughout the year, but yes, you will have another month to probably fine tune your preparation, right? For more details, this is the official website, cuet.samarth.ac.in. You can refer to the website for any information that you want. Now, what is DU looking at? DU has come out with an 81-page information brochure bulletin where they have specified the course-wise requirements of subjects and the combinations that you can take to apply for a program. So what DU is doing is they have divided the list into the subjects list into 3 parts. List A is all the languages, as you can see on the screen. You can choose any one of these language. The domain-specific 27 subjects have been divided into 2 separate lists. List B1, which has subjects like accountancy, anthro, bio, business studies, chemistry, computer science. So your main subjects, ECM, B, accountancy, economics, anthropology, pol science, history, etc., become part of B1. Then there is B2, which has probably your additional subjects like entrepreneurship, mass media, mass communication, physical education. There is teaching aptitude, if anyone has taken this, NCC, yoga. These become your additional subjects. These 9 subjects become part of list B2. In any confusion, where say your board does not specify the subject on these lines or has a different nomenclature, you will choose a subject which is closest in nature to the one specified. The syllabus for all of these exams is again listed on the website, so you can go through that and see which is the closest fit. Now, this is the kind of combination that you can look at, right? So I've taken a few popular programs a lot of students apply to, the maximum number of seats are there, just to show you how it works. Now, suppose I want to apply for B Honors English. What I have to have is I will have to choose English from list A, 2 subjects from B1, the list that I just showed, and any one subject from either B1 or B2. So with these 4 subjects, I can apply to B Honors English. If I want to apply for a B Honors program in any other language, I would have to have that language compulsorily apart from English, right? So that is a minor change that happens. If I'm looking at a program like B Honors Psychology, for B Honors Psychology, again, I have to have any language. If you're choosing English, this can be used here. 2 subjects from B1, any one subject from B1 or B2. So what I'm saying is, if I have English, if I have 2 subjects from B1 or say 3 from B1, I can technically apply to both the programs with a similar selection. I don't have to give the exam separately, right? Similarly for economics, now what economics does is, for economic honors, you have to have a specific subject. What is that subject? You have to have mathematics. So it does not say any one subject from B1. It says you can have any language, say English for us or for me. I have to have mathematics because it is a compulsory requirement. And then any 2 subjects from B1. Any 2 subjects from B1 or B2 with at least one from B1. So suppose if I take English, maths, say I am a commerce student, accountancy, and say physical education, that will work for me. If I take English, maths, accountancy, business studies, that will work for me, right? So when I am taking accounts and physical education, I'm taking one subject from at least one from B1. When I'm taking accounts and business studies, I'm taking both from B1, which is also acceptable. If you're looking at a BA program, not honors, just BA, sorry, then there are 2 possibilities. One is the combination that you used for psychology. So if I have any one language, 2 subjects from B1, any one from B1 or B2, I can apply for the BA program as well. There is another combination. So for example, if I have language, 1 subject from B1 or B2 and section 3, the aptitude section, I can still apply for the BA program, right? So now suppose if I have a selection where I have English, I have 3 subjects from B1, B2, and I have say section 3, technically there are two possibilities for me to apply for the BA program, not the honors program, the BA program, right? And that is where I think the section 3 comes in as well. If you're applying for journalism, again, there are two combinations. One is similar to BA honors English, so this subject combination, or you can look at English plus section 3. These two scores combined, you can apply for the BA honors journalism program as well, right? So probably what happens here is, even if suppose one of your tests does not go as planned, you're not able to do very well in the exam, there is a separate combination possible through which you can apply similar program that you were looking at, right? So section 3 might help you do that. If I'm looking at BCom honors in BCom, BCom honors is similar to eco honors, so you have to have maths. Suppose you don't have maths and you still want to go to BCom honors, you can replace it with accountancy. So for BCom honors, the selection becomes one language, maths or accountancy, either one of them, and then two subjects with at least one from B1, right? If you're applying for BCom, that is similar to the BA program. So again, one language plus one subject from B1, B2, and section 3 can help you to apply to BCom program as well, right? If you are a management student or you're someone who's looking to get into the field of BBA, the three major programs are BMS, BFIA, and BBE. Bachelor of Management Studies, Bachelor of Finance and Investment Analysis, Bachelor of Business Economics. Shahid Sukhdev College of Business Studies being one of the best colleges for these programs. For these programs as well, the selection is clear. You have to have one language from the list A, mathematics compulsorily, and section 3. Right? Here, some of you might have a question saying, when I say mathematics, is it the higher maths, differentiation, integration, or will applied maths work? Again, just give me a few minutes and I'll clarify that. And lastly, for vocational courses, you can choose any combination. There are multiple combinations available, but for every combination, there is a combination which you can apply through a vocational program using section 3 scores as well. Similarly, if you're looking for BSc programs, typically the criteria would be that you have PCB or PCM, and in some cases you can use the section 3 score as well, right? So the takeaway that I want you to have is, okay, this is the syllabus. When I talk about section 3, the syllabus is general knowledge, which will have current affairs and static knowledge, general mental ability, basic maths till class 8th level, and logical reasoning and analytical reasoning. If you are preparing for any other entrance tests like CLAT, IP MAT, Mass Comm, you would be doing this syllabus as it is for yourself, right? If you are not, it would make sense to put section 3 into your preparation plan so that you have backup options available when you're applying to central universities, when you're applying to DU, might also open up other avenues for you. As far as maths and applied maths are concerned, Delhi University is not making the distinction. What they have done is, Delhi University has divided the maths syllabus into two parts, section A compulsory, and then section B1 or B2. So you could give A and B1, or you could give A and B2, any one of the combinations. Section A will have questions from maths and applied maths, 15 questions which are compulsory, there is no choice. Then you can choose to write section B1, which will have 35 questions, out of which 25 are to be answered. This is from mathematics. Section B2 will have 35 questions, 25 to be answered from applied maths. You can choose AB1 or you can choose AB2, whatever the subject that you have. Right? So with a bit of preparation, anyone who has applied maths can also end up applying with maths as their subject. Yeah, so what should you look at? The takeaway, this could be a good selection for anyone depending upon your stream. If you're a commerce with maths student, go for English maths, any two of accountancy, business studies or eco, and then section 3. Basis this, you'll be able to apply to most of the popular programs in Delhi University, right? You can choose to choose all the 3 accounts, BS and eco, but even a choice of 2 with maths, English and section 3 would suffice for you to apply to any program, right? Okay, if you have a choice, what kind of a subject should you look at? Theoretical one or something which is calculations? Theoretical is the problem, you either know the answer or you don't. With calculative questions, again, you have a definitive answer, and therefore I think there is more clarity. But if I have a personal choice, I would go with a theoretical sort of paper for the simple reason that question per time is lesser, and therefore I'll end up attempting more questions, or I'll have time to attempt more questions, read more questions, right? Again, it's a personal choice. Second is commerce without math students. Again, since you do not have maths, you look at English, accountancy as the compulsory ones, plus BS Eco and section 3. So if you are someone with maths, you can actually drop one of accounts, BS or Eco. If you're someone who does not have maths, accounts, BS and Eco becomes a good selection. So with accounts, you can also apply for B Com honors and the section 3. Humanities, again, English plus any 3 of your subjects, depending on the board and school you are, you would have a different sort of a selection. So any 3 subjects. So what this will do is this will ensure that you have the initial criteria, English or language plus 2 subjects from B1 and 1 subject from B1 or B2. So if you take any 3 subjects of yours, though that both the criteria will be satisfied. And you can look at section 3 for journalism. Now, here my assumption is a humanities student does not have maths, which I know is unnecessary to say, but if you do not have maths, that is when I say you can look at this. If you're a humanities student who has maths, then my suggestion would be look at English, maths, plus 3 of your subjects to be on the safer side that your score does not, you have a best of 3 score is still good. And then apart from that, section 3. For science students, again, stick to your PCs, as in physics and chemistry. Depending on a maths or biology student, you can look at M or B. Most of the students, as it is, prepare for these examinations, needs, JEs. This is something that you'll be doing. My suggestion would be add section 3 to this as well, for a simple reason. It opens up BMS for you as well, right? So these are the subjects that you can look at, very briefly speaking. Points to remember would be, because this is happening first year, for the first time this year, it will be a good idea to follow the pattern closely, right? Go to your teachers, you can come to anyone who knows about these topics with the question. So get hold of the question paper, look at the cutoffs, talk to people about the sources that are to be used for the kind of syllabus that has been asked in the paper, right? That will be a guiding principle for your preparation. Look at the cutoffs. Personally speaking, I do not think the cutoffs will be low, because typically, when students are able to get 100% in a written examination, theory based, imagine what they can do in a multiple choice question exam. Also, I was looking at NEET scores in the toppers, scoring a 720 on 720. So I'm very sure students will find a way to crack these examinations. So look at the cutoffs; they're likely to only increase, and therefore start preparation early. Of course, CUET or a common examination should make students' lives easier. I'm sure the pressure will decrease. You will be, not be putting all your eggs in one basket. You'll have multiple combinations, and you'll have a common application process. So yes, life does become easier, but the competition does not change, right? So just because there is CUET does not mean you take it lightly. Make sure that intensity is still there. Getting into a good college solves a lot of problems ahead. It gives you very good exposure. So that is a kind of start that you would definitely want. Practice giving tests. Tests here become important because in a examination, like a board examination, where you have 3 hours for 30 questions, I think, of course, speed is important, but strategy plays a limited part, because you have to attempt all the questions anyways, right? But in these kind of examinations where time pressure is important, or time is the main concern, strategy becomes very important as to which questions to leave, which topics to focus on. Whether you should do inference-based questions, whether you should do case-based questions. All of this will develop once you've been giving more and more mocks, right? Also, the good thing is, for a board sort of an examination, you have to sit down for 3 hours to write a mock. Here, the time limit will be 45 minutes. Becomes a lot easier. So write as many mocks as possible, give as many tests as possible. It becomes a very good feedback loop for your revision, right? Try to focus on the breadth of subject knowledge, because again, since it is a common sort of a paper throughout for all the students in the country, the more you know about the subject, the better it will be for you. And lastly, again, discipline is always the key. Make sure you have a good start, and keep at it. I'm sure you'll make it to a good college, right? If you have any questions, feel free to write in the questions, drop in a message, give in a call, and all the very best for your paper. Take care.